Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV. How you doing, everybody? Weird night. I'm just about ready to go to bed last night, and I figure I might as well just check some of the local news sites for the latest headlines and see if any big news developed or whatever. When I go to WashingtonPost.com, they have a big picture of James Gandolfini on the front page. I'm going, what? Do I maybe see he got a new movie coming out or something? And then I noticed the dates, 1963 to 2013. I'm going, oh my God. So yeah, James Gandolfini apparently had a heart attack while he was vacationing in Italy, and he's gone, 51. Wow. It hit me. It kind of hit me a little like a death in the family. It really did. I don't know. I have to say that probably my favorite American television drama ever is The Sopranos. I mean, I'm just, fascinated. I got the whole thing. I got the whole up. They're all over there on the shelf. I love this show. I don't know. It's just, James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano. He humanized this character. I mean, this character's mean. This is a mean guy. Tony Soprano is not a nice guy. He really isn't a nice guy. But he took this character and humanized it. And even though it's like you could see the insecurities and why does a person become like that? You could really touch the soul of Tony Soprano there. He reached in and illuminated that, so you could actually see how how good and evil is really all intertwined. You can have good and you see this in politics a lot today. There's good and there's bad, and that's that. And it's just stupid because everybody's a big mix. And James Gandolfini and The Sopranos was able to show that we all have a big mix of it in us, and it's complicated. People's personalities are very complicated, and and there was a lot of bad in Tony and a lot of insecurity, and there was good in him too. And he was a father. He on one side he's a mafia kingpin there in North Jersey. And on the other side, he's coming home to his kids, and he's got family problems, and his wife, and his mother. The first two seasons of The Sopranos are the best, I have to say. If you really want to get, if the show had been canceled after these first two seasons, at least they got these first two seasons in because of one thing: Nancy Marchand. Nancy Marchand was Tony Soprano's mother in the show. First two seasons we have her, and she passed away. The actress passed away of cancer between the second and third seasons. So she was, they had to write her like the second episode of season 3. They have her suddenly. He gets a phone call. Oh, she died, and they do have some sort of flashbacky kind of thingies in there, but. So she's pretty much out of the show as a character in season 3, but yet, Liv, whatever, she's constantly coming back. She's always in Tony. She's part of Tony. And when you see her interface with Tony these first two seasons, it's just brilliant. It's brilliant television. I don't think there has ever been a better mother-son relationship, more real than what Tony and what James Gandolfini and Nancy Marchand did in these first two seasons of The Sopranos. And as I posted on Facebook last night, what was it, back in December of 2011? It gets dark early. It's dark at 5 o'clock, and so I just in the evenings I would just put on my Sopranos. I'd watch 3 or 4 episodes a night, just binge viewing every night for the month. I went through the entire run of The Sopranos in a couple weeks. And I'll tell you, that is quite an experience. It's kind of like a mental marathon in a weird way. You feel it's something to just have that loaded into you so fast, that whole run of the show, all the way up there to the very end where we have the black screen. Tony's there at the diner with his family ordering the onion rings, and Journey's playing in the background, and all of a sudden he looks up and it just goes black. And I think if you go on the internet, And there's a couple of good places that just do final episode Sopranos. You'll come to some guy who wrote up this really intense thing of why he really thinks Tony Soprano got whacked and the family got whacked there. Except Meadow. Meadow was still out in the parking lot parking her car. But it goes through all the clues. And if you watch those last few episodes of The Sopranos, there's a lot of little clues as to leading up to Tony's the ending there, and it's a way of humanizing Tony, because you don't want to see them come in and with the guns and blow him away and watch the bloody bodies fall back, as we saw lots of in The Sopranos. In a way, David Chase, the creator of The Sopranos, wanted to keep Tony alive, but yet at the same time wanted to let you know that he wasn't. The more and more I think about that ending, the more and more brilliant I think it was. Just absolutely stunningly brilliant. Something that you don't see much on television these days. And the other thing I loved about The Sopranos was Tony's relationship with his sister. I can't think of the name. Tony's sister. What's her name? The actress's name. You see, see, that's why I do these shows. Let's see. Google. I will get it. Tony's sister Sopranos. That's what I love about Google, right? Janice, yeah, played by Ida Turturro, right? That was another brilliant characterization. It was so real. They were kind of like very similar, but they weren't. And no matter what Janice did, including murdering the mafia boyfriend guy, Tony always forgave her, always did. And in a way, his mother was the same way. As horrible as she was, he always forgave her. Good. Anyhow, tip of the Camo Cap, which I don't have on today, to James Gandolfini. I think he's brilliant. And catch him in some other good movies. So he was also in some other really good movies. This is a Coen Brothers movie, The Man Who Wasn't There. He's in this, really good. And I also really, really liked him in The Loop. This was the guy. I love this show called I'm Alan Partridge with Steve Coogan there, British show. This is a British guy. He did this bizarre comedy that involves Britain and America, and James Gandolfini plays a general. Funny stuff. Steve Coogan's actually in this. There he is. But it shows James Gandolfini was really good and a funny actor in other roles. Although, yeah, he was kind of that, whenever you saw him, you just immediately thought Tony Soprano. So, yeah, he was sort of typecast, and I think that would probably have hurt his career had it gone on any longer. But anyhow, he's a great actor, and I shall miss him. Even though I've lived in the Washington area for 40 years, shows how old I am, I grew up in New Jersey. I grew up in my parents. My dad worked for IBM in Philadelphia and later Xerox there, and we lived in the New Jersey suburbs of Philadelphia, Willingboro, Pennsauken, and Woodbury, West Deptford Township, and and we spent, we'd always go to the Jersey Shore, down Atlantic City, Cape May. My family originally is from the South Jersey. My dad's side of the family is from the South Jersey area, the Audubon area. The old family plot there is down in Cape May. Captain Humphrey Hughes is buried down there. There's a Hughes Street in Cape May. So even though we never lived in Cape May, we always kind of think of Cape May as our family home. And it was just kind of interesting, and again, even after we moved down here to the Washington area in '72 when my dad got transferred from Xerox, we always went back to Jersey multiple times because that's where my dad's parents lived. And we go to the Jersey Shore every summer for years, and so I just had that, that connection with the Sopranos, just New Jersey, that, very Italian area up there, a lot of Italians, and a lot of them are very good people too, very good food, and maybe that's what did Tony in, too much of that good food, it's that very good food, but you stick to the Greek diet if you want to live past 51. I don't know, man, sad. Again, more disappointment in this Washington Post. I don't know. I find this a disappointing paper. I just do. Michael Hastings, who that crazy reporter guy at 33, passed away yesterday. Died violently yesterday in that car wreck. in Los Angeles. He was the guy who unseated Petraeus there, the whole thing, the whole big Petraeus scandal. I would have thought there would have been something in the stupid style section today about it. I mean, they did run a short little blurby article yesterday, but I would have thought there would have been some sort of more in-depth piece or some remembrance piece in here. They didn't do that. Granted, there's nothing on James Gandolfini in the style section because I guess he died late in the day. There is a standard obit in the Metro section on page B7, so I guess they got that in. That was a wire copy, AP. I don't know. It's just more. I presume tomorrow's style section will have the remembrances, of Tony Soprano and James Gandolfini and all that. But I don't know. I find this paper more and more and more and more disappointing. Kind of like, it's just not a great paper anymore. I don't know. The style section especially. Lisa DeMarais is gone. And what are they going to replace her? Are they just going to have TV highlights in here anymore? It's just the papers, especially it's just disappointing. Constantly, just continually a yawn or disappointment. There, the print paper. I'm telling you. Marty Baron, you're letting the paper slide too much, man. You really are. All right, folks, that's Dave TV for today, the 20th of June, 2013. I should end the show with a quippy kind of Sopranos. Tony should have had did he have a tagline? I don't know. I don't know. I just, wow. Show me driving down the Jersey Turnpike and throwing my coin in the thing and passing those tanks and the funny little pig thing. And oh, well. Tony Soprano, bad guy, good guy, big mix of it, whatever you want to say. James Gandolfini, R.I.P.